Hey everyone, so today's training segment is going to be on face shapes and contouring for the different face shapes. Don't mind my cat. She always has to be in my business. For the MUA program. And so the first thing that I always get asked is, how do you identify my face shape? And I'm going to give you an easy-ish way to identify that. You first need a bendable measuring tape. You can use rulers, but it's not as easy, and you'll get better measurements with something that's more bendable to your face. And my cat's playing with the bottom of this. Okay. So we're gonna kind of go through this all together. So what you'll need is the bendable tape, a piece of paper, and a pen. Okay. So we're gonna do this right now together. So the first thing you want to do is identify your widest point on your forehead. So for me, my widest point is here and here. So I'm going to take the measuring tape, London Rose, okay, and I'm going to measure from here to here, making sure. So that is 6. My measurement is 6. Okay, so you're going to write down your measurement. So forehead is 6. So let's write that down. 6. Okay, now cheekbone width. Starting at just past the outer corner of your eye. Okay, so just right here. Extend the measuring tape across the bridge of your nose to the other side. Okay, and you're going to take the measurements for this. So you're going to go right outside of your eye. Oh my gosh, this cat. Okay, right outside of your eye, and you're going to go across the bridge. Okay, so I'm 6 again. So I'm even across the bridge and my forehead. So I'm going to put 6. And everybody's measurements is going to be different. Okay, so it's important that you write down the measurement. The next thing is your jawline. So what you want to do is go right underneath your ear. Okay, and you're going to measure from here to the center of your chin. Okay, so you're going to take the measuring tape. Sorry, this cat has taken my measuring tape. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So you're going to go right underneath your ear, and you're going to measure it to the center of your chin. So I'm 6 again. I am very symmetrical, I guess. I don't know. So I am 6, okay? Well, and then it'll be from the other side. So you would just multiply that by 2. Okay, or measure the other side, and I am 6 again. So 6 and 6 is 12. So you are 12 inches all the way across by doing that measurement, okay? Now your face length is, you want to take the tip from your hairline. So you're going to go right to your hairline, and you're going to go all the way down. Okay, I am an 8. So we're going to write an 8, okay? And keep your numbers, okay? Keep all of your numbers. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to identify our face shape based on those numbers. I'm going to read the oval, the square, the heart, the round, and the rectangle shapes, okay? And I will make graphics, and I will upload these documents into the BU group so you can easily access them, okay? And print them out and use them. So for a round, or I'm sorry, an oval face, I have to make sure I go in specific order. Your forehead, is the width of your forehead smaller than the width of your cheekbones? Do you have a tall forehead? That's what it's going to ask you. And for me, my forehead is the same as the cheekbone, okay? So you're going to go through all of these questions, and again, I will post these questions, and that's how you identify what face shape you are, okay? Some face shapes are a combination of both, and you'll be able to identify that based on the measurements and the questions that I will upload. You'll be able to identify, hey, I'm a mixture of heart and oval, or I'm a mixture of this face shape and that face shape. So then what that means, it doesn't make it harder to contour or highlight. It just means you have more options. So if you want to contour for one, you can get away with it, or if you want to contour for the other, you can get away with that as well, okay? So I want to show you the different kinds of face types, and I gave an example. So the first one is an oval shape. if Kyle will pull that up for me. And an oval shape, okay, is very much like Jessica Alba, okay? So she, as you can see, from the center to the bottom, okay, it's very rounded and comes to a point. It's all rounded. That is an oval shape. And as you can see on the graphic, okay, you see where you would typically contour for an oval shape. Okay, so you could contour down the nose, you could contour in the temple area, identify where the cheekbone is and contour underneath that hollow, and you're going to contour right in here, giving a little more shape to her oval face, or the oval face. Now, I also am a huge advocate for understanding bone structure, because you could have two people with the same face shape, but one has cheekbones and the other doesn't. So you would place the contour differently. So really identify where you can find the cheekbone. And the easiest way to do that is you take either a brush or a pen, and you'll feel, if you roll and kind of press, you'll feel the brush dip in. That is the hollow, and that is where you want to contour. You want to make sure that it's underneath that cheekbone, and you don't want it to come too far down. Okay, so you want to make sure that, especially with the cheekbone as well as the neck, if you should contour there or not based on their bone structure. So for the neck, there are some people that just have a neck that sits further up, okay? And a lot of people always want to contour, like I want to shade this so I can't see it. Well, if their neck is naturally sitting further up, see what happens when I push my neck? This is natural. This is just something, a part of their body based on how their skeleton is placed, their neck is placed. So if I were to put color here, it's just going to accentuate it, okay? Because it's not going to create a shadow. I'm just putting color on skin. You want to make sure that the neck sits a little further back, so when you do the shadow, it's hiding and not accentuating. Okay, so really pay attention to somebody's bone structure as well as their face shape. Okay, so the next one is a square shape, and the square shape is very much like Angelina Jolie. Okay, it has a very strong jaw, and the forehead comes straight across rather than having this this rounded top, rounded hairline. It's much more squared. Okay, much more straight, comes down with a strong jaw. Okay, and so typically when you're contouring for a square face, you're going to contour this part right in here because you're trying to give that square a little more of a rounded, softer hairline, or the appearance of. Okay, and then you're contouring under the cheek, and you're also contouring here on the jawline, and you're doing that again so that you can give a softer, more rounded look rather than a strong, squared look. Okay, and the art of contouring, if somebody asks you, especially your more mature clients that don't really understand the contour, because contouring is fairly new, or it's trending right now, and they may not understand what contouring is. So contouring is the art of using a darker color to diminish something. So dark diminishes. So you're making something smaller. So for a square, if they have a very square jaw, they're contouring the part to make it softer, to diminish that harsh jawline, to give it more of a rounded feature. Okay, so that is the point of the contour for a square face. Okay, so we've got oval, now we've got square. Let's move on to round. So round is round. It's very round at the hairline and very round at the bottom. Ovals tend to have, the difference between round and oval is ovals tend to have points, a point here and a point here. Okay, rounds are rounded all the way around. Okay, there's no real points. Someone like Selena Gomez, okay, she has a very round face. So no points at the chin or the forehead, and it's very rounded. Now for a round face, what we want to do is we want to kind of cut the round to make it a little more oval. Okay, and the way you do that is you're going to contour in the temple area through here and under the cheekbone. The reason you're doing that is you are cutting the roundness okay, and creating a cheekbone rather than it just being all round. And you're going up into the temple as well, okay, cutting that roundness, giving it some dimension, giving the face some dimension, okay. You're also contouring down here, not as much as the square, but you are contouring here, again, giving it, the round face, some dimension, okay. If we're just round, we want to kind of cut certain areas to give us that dimension, okay? Now, the next face shape is a heart, okay? And the most famous heart shape, and is so clear that it's a heart shape, is Reese Witherspoon. You can look at her, you don't even need to measure her because you can see her and be like, she's 100% a heart shape. Heart shape is wide on top, and then it comes down exactly to a point at the chin. Okay, so if you look at Reese Witherspoon's chin, it's very pointed, but her forehead is very rounded, comes out and points. That is a heart shape, okay? And so what the heart shape does is you contour similar to the round. So you're contouring in the temple area and underneath the cheekbone, but then you're contouring the chin area to lessen the point, okay? Because you'll see in the graphic how Reese Witherspoon's point comes out, the chin. So you're just contouring the chin to make it not so pointy, softening the point, making it a little more rounded. The last face shape is the rectangle. And the rectangle face shape that I chose is Sandra Bullock. And you will see that she is very long, like an oval, but squared. Okay, so she has a point, but she's also squared off. So you want to contour the forehead down, bringing the longness, okay, of the rectangle down a little bit, giving the illusion that the hairline has moved down. You're going to contour under the cheek, really chiseling out the cheekbones. And then you're contouring right along the jaw. Again, diminishing the strong chin because strong chin. Clearly my mind is elsewhere. Or I subconsciously need a drink. I don't know. But so just like the square where we're softening that strong jaw, it's the same thing for a rectangle. So we're softening the strong jaw on the rectangled face. Okay? And I'm going to be uploading all of these files, the questions, all of that into the BU group. So you'll be able to see that under the file section once we are done with the video. Okay. And so the next thing I want to talk about is the different things that you can contour with. So with our products, with SeneGence products, you have an endless amount of products that you can use to contour. Okay. My favorite, of course, as you all know, is the foundations. I love cinnamon and I love, coffee foundations for contouring. Coffee I use more for the evening. Cinnamon I use more for my day contour. You can use bronze blush scents. You can use deep caramel foundation. You can use truffle foundation. You can use deep CCTM, deep concealer, chocolate cherry, mocha java, garnet, bronze dust. Bronze dust is going to be more of a bronzing, a dusting. It's not going to be a harsh cut contour. So just keep that in mind when you are using the bronze dust. It's not going to be as cut or as dramatic as the other products. And remember, the other products are very pigmented. A little goes a very, very long way. And with our products as well, if you want to have a more, let's see, where's that brush at? Oh, right in front of me. It's fine. I love to use the Real Techniques stippling brush. You can get it on Amazon. They sell them at Target. They're cheap, affordable. They work great. But what you want to do is you want to dip the brush into the product and then blot it and evenly disperse it on your brush so that it evenly disperses on the skin. I know you see these graphics where people are, you know, putting a line here and a line here and a line here and then blending it out. The thing about ours is that it's long lasting. It dries quickly. okay? And when it dries, it is a little harder to blend out. Not saying that you can't blend it out, you can. It just makes it a little more difficult, okay? And so if you're working with a client and you're sitting there for a really long time trying to blend that out, their face might get tired and they might get a little irritated. So if you're blending it on your brush, dispersing it evenly, and then putting it on their skin, you have more control and blendability that way, okay? The other thing that I want to talk about is using, for women of color, using onyx. Don't be afraid of using onyx on women of color. Don't be afraid to contour. It's my favorite to contour with, okay? And if you have a hard time using onyx to contour with, because the shadow sense is a little harder to blend, okay? What you want to do is maybe add a little bit of matte gloss to the shadow sense, okay? And it's really easy to blend that way. You just want to make sure that you tell your client to really wash their face, because the matte gloss can clog pores, unlike our other products, okay? So if you want to use it for the blendability aspect, just make sure that you tell your client to really wash their face that evening. Don't forget to wash their face. Or what you can also use is, depending on the skin tone, so if you're working with a woman of color, use truffle and then add some onyx to it. It can make it much more blendable that way as well. And then you can kind of match shades accordingly, depending on the skin tone and the shadow sense and all of that, to make it more blendable. Okay, so I believe that's all that I have for you guys today on the different face shapes. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I will be happy to answer. I'm going to upload these files, upload the pictures, but I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback on how you worked with your clients. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the new MUAs getting certified this year, and good luck and bless. Bye guys.